gente bella, what's good, what's poppin'? It's your girl Amara la Negra, and you're listening to Exactly Amara, a production of iHeart Radio. Well, I have some sad news. Womp, womp, womp. Unfortunately, my co-host Stevie Nunez will no longer be with us. He's working on some bigger projects. He has some other things going on. We will always send him love and support, and I know that he's listening and he's part of Exactly Amara's family, no matter what. But sometimes things happen, and as sad as I am, I know that he's doing great things in life. I'm so grateful for the time that we shared together on Exactly Amara. He brought a lot of juice, he brought a lot of spice, a lot of sazon, plátano, and all that good stuff. But you already know how it is. Anyways, moving right along, today's topic is dun, 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 OnlyFans. I know you guys have been talking about it. Some of y'all have been subscribing on the low. Stop lying. You know you have your own little OnlyFans on the low, and you be watching when nobody else is watching. And some of you may not even have an OnlyFans, but you might be curious. Or you may have a certain mindset, a perspective on the type of people that use OnlyFans, and you actually might just be wrong. All the people that are OnlyFans are not there necessarily because they're financially struggling. Some of them do it because they like it. Some of them do it to feel liberated. Some of them do it for financial reasons. Some of them do it for whatever the case may be. Some of the people on OnlyFans are actually professional, well-educated people that graduated from different careers. Listen, OnlyFans, in the beginning, I think that a lot of people were like, oh, that's for whores. Oh, that's for sluts. Oh, that's for this. And not necessarily. Some people may not be none of those things, and they just might be doing it to make themselves feel good. And by the way, if you can make a couple of dollars on the sides, why not? Not to mention, it's not just a couple of dollars. I've heard of some girls that made $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. Wouldn't OnlyFans kind of make you change your mindset for 2 seconds? Those people that are in college working so hard to get a degree, to get not even close to that type of money a month. Well, for that and many more other things, I'll tell you this much. I have an amazing guest today. Not only is she beautiful, she's smart, she's an amazing mother, a fantastic wife. She's just all of that in a bag of chips, a former Navy veteran. She's a Navy veteran and she's a former ICU nurse. So look at that. She's pretty, smart, and she's bodied. Oh my God, I can't wait for you guys to talk to Allie Ray. My love, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, most definitely. Well, I have had the honors of being able to interview you already, which we could kind of talk about it already. And for that, guys, you have to stay tuned to Don't Cancel Me. Don't Cancel Me on Fuse, December 1st, my new TV show. I was able to have Allie, and we had such a good time. We were drinking wine. We were being honest, on and off camera. She came with her husband. By the way, he's so supportive of her. He's so sweet. He's so amazing. And I just want you, Allie, to tell your story. For those that may not know you, I want you to let them know originally, what did you study? How was your life growing up? And then the transformation from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, I actually grew up in my family was pretty poor. I had a pretty broken home, a lot of toxicity in the household. And so I went into the Navy at 17 to just kind of get away, escape. I think it spiraled me into being like an overachiever because then I went on and I got multiple degrees. And after the Navy, I ended up becoming a nurse. And so I did nursing and excelled in that as well up into my doctorate. And then the pandemic hit. Yeah, the pandemic hit. And I think things just changed for me. I don't know what it was, but it was like a mindset. I think like a lot of us felt kind of like a little underappreciated maybe. And my husband had lost his job. So, we started to just like I had an Instagram. I would just like post things, like just like more like vlogging or beer reviews. And some girls at work have found my Instagram, which led them to see that I also had an OnlyFans.
Which,
We
by
never,
the way, I'm sorry, guys, just in
yeah.
case you're still not putting two and two together, Allie Ray is that famous nurse, that famous veteran that was popular all over social media. Like, her story went viral. Like, it went viral because she basically got fired from her job as a nurse for having an OnlyFans page. Like, how unfair is that? When you found out, well, actually, no, when your co-workers found out, because those were those nosy ass bitches. They were over there hating, and they got you fired. First of all, how did you feel? Were you friends with any of them? Did you share that you had an OnlyFans with anybody at work? How was that?
No, I had never talked about it with anyone, honestly, just my husband and I. And the thing is, on the unit, I was really, I got along with everyone, respected. It wasn't like when this happened, I was like, oh yeah, I know it was probably that, I know who it was. I had no clue. And I knew like there's somebody around me that like gets along with me every day that I probably eat lunch with. That's what was the most heartbreaking. It was like, it was such a vindictive thing. Like I could tell people were going out of their way to make this like an issue for me. And I was like, I've never done anything to these people. Like I was always so helpful, friendly. Really, it was really, really like a blind side. It hurt me more in that way, that I felt like people were judging me and dismissed everything, about me prior, that I was a very educated nurse and I was super, ambitious and stuff on the unit and helpful. So it was a really crappy situation. It really was.
Right.
It was toxic at some points.
Do you consider that it was
Especially.
almost a blessing that they found out and you got fired from your job?
Yeah, people have asked me that, and I think about that. I'm like, I know I would have left eventually because the amount of money I was making, like it made absolutely zero sense for me to continue to work, 50 hours a week on my feet like that. I think it's just more the nature of how I was pushed out and I wasn't ready. I still love what I did, and I didn't get a chance to come with like to terms. So, I mean, it was a blessing because it excelled my business. Obviously, it basically pushed me out, and maybe that's what I needed because, like I said, it wasn't any reason for me to be working at that time. I didn't want, I liked it. I liked going to work. I really did.
Like I've said before, I think that people have a certain mindset of the people that do OnlyFans without knowing that you can be an extremely well educated person, be a person of morals and all types of values, and still do OnlyFans because you're open minded. Do you feel that your family, friends, or whomever are being judgmental towards you for doing that? Does your family support you with your OnlyFans account or your kids?
Yeah, so like my little sister, she actually found out before I went viral because she found a viral TikTok, that she came across it. So I had a conversation with her. She was the first person outside of my husband and I that we told. She's very supportive. I don't speak with my mom or dad much, so I didn't never really was concerned about their opinion. But my children, I was incredibly concerned because my oldest is 18 and I have 17 and 12. So the two older two, we definitely had to take them to dinner, sit down, have a conversation with them, like in a vanilla way, besides just busting out and telling them exactly what was going on. It was like they kind of grasped and understood and they respected it. And they knew, I think for them, it was comforting once they knew, like, okay, mom and dad were both doing this. It's not like mom's doing this behind dad's back type thing.
Right.
And so, but the support has been great. I haven't had any problems with that.
Talking about support, I know that there's so many toxic relationships, or there's so many, well, because I consider myself to be slightly toxic. Because I've been feeling like what's mine is mine. Like if that's my dick, I'm not sharing it with nobody. You better not show nobody. No. However, your husband actually was cool as hell to support you with what you were doing. He wasn't like super judgmental to you about it. How was that conversation? Because originally you set it off by yourself. Cute pictures, boom, boom, boom. Then from there, I'm guessing you went to like, maybe let me just show a little bit of nipple. Like, bing, bing, bing. All right. Then from there, it was like, okay, you know what? I might as well just show my ass crack. And from my ass crack, it was like, look, I'm just going to show you this. You know what I'm saying? Let me just show you my toto. Like, fuck it. How was that transition to actually, telling your husband, hey, listen, would you like to, join me in my OnlyFans?
Yeah, I mean, I think, he's definitely still not, he doesn't like camera. He's very camera shy. He doesn't show his face on there. I think in the beginning, we had a lot of requests. People would ask for stuff. And I've been in the beginning from my OnlyFans very, very upfront with all my subscribers. Like, I'm a very married woman. You are not going to sweep me off my feet. Like, I am not leaving him. Like, so I think it was important
Aw,
for me too, for him to
that's
have
so
a presence.
romantic.
In a weird way.
Yeah, no,
But I think
that's
that
so
was
romantic.
important. It just was. So, I mean, he's really grown with it, but it's certainly, I mean, it's something that there's things I do now on cam that I never thought I would, but you grow with it and you get a little more. I
Like
mean,
what?
and
Abby,
again,
tell me. Like, what have you done?
like, woo, everything. We film the full shebang. I mean, we definitely do everything on there.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
Except
we
getting
still,
fucked in your ass, because we already found that out on Don't Cancel Me. Your booty is not part of the deal. No, it's not happening.
no, no, it's
No.
it's scary. It's scary back there.
It's okay though. It's okay though. But I love the fact that he supports you. I love the fact that your children, you guys were such a mature, you're a mature family to come together and a united family to come together and be like, look, we're gonna have this conversation with you. We're adults, we're your parents, we're together, and we're gonna be doing this. Obviously, you guys don't have to see it. I'm glad that it came from you and they didn't have to find out through
Yeah.
someone in school or something like that they could get bullied for or whatever the case may be. Does your youngest truly comprehend what an OnlyFans is?
No, no. I mean, I think it's just more of like a modeling thing, stuff like that. Yeah, he's no, and I think it's still, he's 12, but he's very young at heart. Still, he's more like 9. So there's gonna be some room there where he'll have to, as he gets older, he'll understand more and kind of what's going on. But it's kind of it's weird because it is like a body positivity thing. It's like very hard because you don't want to shame it in the way you come about it, but it's like almost like when you hide it or you try to like, no, 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 it's almost like you're reinforcing that shame. So it's been a really hard balance to really try to make sure that I'm presenting it in a way that, it doesn't come off that way. So it's a learning process. It's not easy. I mean,
Right.
imagine a lot of people in this industry have this issue with children, especially when you have 3 boys. It's definitely an odd
And
topic.
talking about 3 boys, I know that there's a lot of single mothers, or there's a lot of mothers overall, period, that listen to my podcast. And a lot of them may feel subconscious about their bodies. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to be honest. Look, I used to weigh 230 pounds. My body has gone through a lot of, roller coasters. Sometimes I'm fat, sometimes I'm skinny, sometimes I'm thick. I don't know what's going on. Like, my body be all over the place. Sometimes you see me skinny, and then sometimes all of a sudden that I just gain like 20 pounds. So I have stretch marks, I have cellulite, I got dimples. My confidence is lit because no matter what, I can still get it. Period. I can still take your man, so don't play with me. However, however, you also have an amazing story when it comes to your body transformation. You weren't always the girl that we see today on OnlyFans. At one point in life, you were a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger. Tell me about your confidence, how you were before, and how OnlyFans, helped your confidence.
Yeah, I had my first child at 18 and then I had another one at 19 and then another one a couple of years later. So, I mean, there was like all these years where there was like this baby weight that just kept putting on. And of course it was super difficult to get off. I'm only 5'4", so weight adds up, really easily on me and my height.
Right.
So I had lost like 120 pounds back in
Wow.
like 2012. Yeah. And I was always, even in high school, kind of like a thicker girl. Well, back then you would call thick, early, late 90s, but now it's like it's acceptable to be curvier and thick, amongst
Right.
women at least. Men have always liked us that way, but women now are like, oh, okay, I want a booty. But
Right.
so I think when I lost the weight, there was definitely a shift in me. I mean, the things I could wear, I felt cuter. I got attention that I never had before. My confidence went up. And I think my husband's seen that too. And, was happy for me because, to be
Right.
so young and have all these babies, those are like my prime years and my body was like not the body of a 20-year-old, and that was depressing. So that really started a lot. And of course, spiraling into this, especially what I'm doing now, you're right. Like I remember thinking, who the hell would want to see me naked? Like I have a mom body in here, stretch marks, tell you like the whole 9 yards, just it.
A real body,
a real body. Yes. It's like not, it's not perfect. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I liked about OnlyFans though, because that's kind of what they want. Because let's be real, they could get all the Photoshop stuff on Insta and everywhere else. If they want to see the real thing, and it feels more
Mm.
candid and it feels more
Yep.
natural. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, that was like, wow, like this is the real me being put on there and people like it. And that was definitely a confidence booster.
Well, you go from being like a regular mom, regular nurse, regular life, you know, I'm sure soccer or whatever sports in the weekends. Right.
Yeah.
Take me through the first time. Yes, it's one thing. Listen, I'm all about taking sexy pictures because you guys have already seen my Instagram, and I'm trying to like evolve a little bit and cover it up 2 seconds. I'm eager all the time to be like, let me just show my ass one time. But let me just show my ass one time. But tell me and take me through the process of the first time you actually decided to, have sex openly on OnlyFans. Like that one time, like, okay, look, babe, we're gonna do it. So, all right.
Mhm.
And just like that send, that tell me how it was for you to finally put up your first video.
Yeah, so even to this day, I think it's the most natural when it's not like staged. It's definitely
Okay.
candid. So there's drinks involved because usually, we'll go to dinner, have some drinks, you come home and it's kind of like, let's just pop the camera on the tripod. And and I think if you go into it thinking, well, if we don't like it, we don't gotta post it. You know what I mean? Like let's just film it. We don't like it, we don't gotta post it.
Wait,
And
what
then
is we don't like it? What does we don't like it mean? What is like a bad sex video?
I
It's
guess like
candid.
for me, I would feel like, oh, like as a girl, I'd be like, oh, I don't like that angle, or I look really chubby, or I don't feel like I look cute, or I don't know, or like I look sloppy, or whatever it might be. If it
Oh
looks
my
like,
god.
which is probably the good stuff, right? All the good stuff, what they
Right.
want. But I mean, at that point, so I think the first time we did, and we watched it the next morning, and of course, I'm like, I can't even watch it. Like till this day, I'm like, just tell me if it looks good. Like I can't. I'm like, I just have like super embarrassed inside to watch myself. It's very weird.
I know,
But
me too, me too. I
isn't
get
it
it.
weird?
I've done it, but I've never posted it because then I like in the moment when you're horny, you're like, yeah, all that, and then when you watch it the next day, it's like, what the fuck was that? I don't want to turn it off.
I know sometimes I'm like, who is this bitch? What has happened here? But yeah, I think then we watched it when the next day and we're like, that's pretty hot. Okay, let's just throw it out there. And then people loved it and they wanted more of it. So then it gets to be like, okay, let's make another one. That was easy. And so that's kind of how it first started, to be honest. Yeah.
So you went from like, how was your first week? I mean, look, I've never had an OnlyFans. I've always been eager to download it. I've watched it through like other people's phones. And then here I feel a little bit awkward because I'm not gonna lie. I want to support you because now after getting to know your story and after getting to know you, I really actually like you. Like she's such a sweet person. Away from what you may see on her OnlyFans and she's sexy and naughty and does all these great things, she's such a really nice person. So how was your first week? Like your first week on OnlyFans, you went from doing like how much money to like how did it evolve?
So I started this page, people were talking about it. I signed up. It was kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, to sign up as a creator. I even made a comment to my husband, like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, I'm done with trying this because you have to upload your ID. So I kind of actually created an account. I didn't post anything on it. I told a few people in the DMs. I went back in there like 2 weeks later and there was like 40 subscribers. I was like, oh shit, people are like paying and I don't have any content on there. So then I started posting. Our first month we closed out at almost $7,100 somewhere in there, like $7,000, and that was with maybe like 8 pics. And I was like, okay, all right. So this is real deal. Like let me post a little bit more with some effort, and then it just kept going and going. We stayed around that 7 to 8 grand mark for a couple months, and then it was like 20, 30, 50, 60, now over $300,000 a month. I mean, we just hit 1 year on the 9th of September. So that's all within a year. And I mean, it grew very, very quickly. Very quickly.
300,000 a month. How does your
Last
life
month was
change?
Yeah. It's dramatic. I mean, it's like, I think I mean, I continued to work as a nurse until even when I was making 60 to 70 grand a month. And I remember looking back, I'm like, who the hell would do that? But I never felt like the money was real. It always felt like bullshit. Like this can't be real. And it just kept coming in. And of course, then I learned the platform and what makes you more money. And, making more videos obviously is where you make a lot more money. And so it's like, once you figure that out, you're like, oh, wow, like this is a lot. And so, I mean, for us, we haven't splurged. We bought a new Jeep and we're going to build a house. But other than that, like student loans have been paid off, credit cards. It's just the basic shit. Hockey got paid for. I mean, we haven't really splurged. Our checking accounts just
So you haven't gone 0 to 1,000, because a lot of people, and I personally know some people that have created their OnlyFans. They started getting a little bit of money, and all of a sudden now you see them full of jewelry. They're driving expensive cars, and they're eating at expensive restaurants every day, and just burning out the money. But you guys decided to invest and do things differently.
I am still the girl. Like, my husband laughs at me all the time because I still am like checking the bill at the restaurant. Oh, we didn't order that. I'm like, every dime I still stop at TJ Maxx. Like, it's funny because like I know I can buy these things for myself. I could go and spend, but I love a good deal. And I just think no matter what, I'm always going to be the girl. Like, it's funny though. I don't have a problem with the Botox or whatever. I don't care about the bill for that because that goes back into the business. But right. I think like for me, I don't foresee myself ever living a very flashy lifestyle. We're definitely going to have a nice home for our family. And that will probably be the biggest and most splurgeous thing we do. I want a good, nice, beautiful content room. There's stuff like that. But yeah, I think I'm still going to be that girl wearing flip-flops, cut off shorts, and just that is honestly me at heart. And so
very humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. Now, talking about how much money you've made on OnlyFans and how basically this has redirected your whole career, how was it for you when OnlyFans for 2 seconds announced that they were going to start taking away the sexual content out of OnlyFans? Because originally, for those that may not know, OnlyFans, to my understanding, was just a platform where people could create exclusive content for their fan base, whether it was like exclusive music videos or exclusive videos, whatever. Little by little, especially during the pandemic, it started kind of like, changing waves, and then it became a little bit more of a sexual situation. Were you panicking like, oh my God, my whole lifestyle, my whole money, my whole everything can like go down the drain right now?
Well, what was ironic is that news broke the same week that my story broke and went viral. So obviously it was kind of like, motherfucker, right whenever I started really making the bank, it's like, okay, now you want to shut down. But in my heart, honestly, what I felt like when that occurred, and I did a lot of interviews on this, people were reaching out because they were like, oh, yeah, you're making all this money, but now it's going to go away, all this whatever. OnlyFans doesn't have a search feature, okay? So it's not like people can go on there and search an artist. Like, the cool thing is everyone that's on your OnlyFans is there because you brought them there. They came from your IG, your Twitter, wherever else you're promoting. So I knew in my heart, they're there for me, and they came there for me, so I could direct them somewhere else. And so I will tell you, with that news that broke, for me personally, what I foresee is I definitely don't want to keep all my eggs in one basket with OnlyFans. I don't trust that there may not be something in the future. So I'm going to mirror my OnlyFans on at least 2 other platforms, specifically probably a platform called iFans and maybe FanCentro. And I'd like to just mirror them. That way, I have the content everywhere. It'll all be the same. But that was ultimately my goal. I haven't put that into place yet, but that's honestly what I think you're going to see a lot of creators do, because it was scary. I mean, some people that it could have put some girls back on the streets. I mean, let's be real. They're making a lot of money on there. I wouldn't have had that problem, but there are girls that really, really rely on that.
You know what? I want you to talk about it. And now talking about a more serious, the more serious aspect of OnlyFans. For those that may not know, OnlyFans also gives a safer opportunity for girls to feel sexually liberated, financially independent, make their money from home, from a studio, from whatever the case may be. But a lot of these girls originally started off in the streets, and just the need of feeling like, if I can't make my money home doing what I'm doing now, I might have to go back into the streets. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about it? I know that you're not from that side, but I'm sure that you've heard and you've seen other girls that truly appreciate this platform because of the liberty it gives you.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is a cell phone, an internet, and a data plan, and you could literally make, a six-figure income. I mean, you can do whatever, and I think that's huge because if you were in this industry, you had girls who maybe worked in brothels out in Nevada or on the streets or in strip clubs, maybe things that they never, that put them in harm's way, and now you've given them an opportunity to be able to still make money. I also think about people that don't have the luxury of being able to go to work, period, and doing this from home. These are the stories that I've heard that people that have come to me since my story broke, they'll say, please help me. Like I need some kind of financial freedom. And
Yeah.
that's terrible. I mean, OnlyFans should be happy that they have provided a platform like that. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
that they could have, a lot of people would have been in a bad situation real quick, for
For
sure.
sure, for sure, for sure. And then here's another important part. I never knew this till I started talking with you because I don't know, I guess in my mind I automatically assumed like, yeah, they're making all this money from only I'm thinking like a lot of people do, and I know, don't judge me, don't cancel me, but I'm just being exactly Amara, and this is what it is. But I was just thinking like, okay, all these girls are making all this money from OnlyFans, blah 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 blah. They don't got no expenses, this and that. Talking to you, I realized for those that are making like heavy money on OnlyFans, not the ones that are beginning and you're taking like maybe 2 or 3 pictures, nothing like that, but the ones that are really like into this business full core, you guys do have expenses. And this goes from hair to makeup to wardrobe to everything else. Tell me what expenses look like for an OnlyFans girl.
Yeah, I mean, if you're big time on this platform, I hate that my story makes this look a lot very easy to girls. Because let me tell you, to get to this level, it is a business, and you are a one or maybe two-man show. You have marketing expenses, you have promoting expenses, you have, like you said, wardrobe, hair, waxing, you have lighting. There is so gym memberships you got to do. I mean, if you get Botox, whatever, all the things that you do. I mean, there is a crap ton of expenses, and a lot of it is you really should take 20 to 25% of your income, and this just being in the industry, entertainment industry in general, and put it back into yourself, and like in terms of marketing yourself and promoting, and you do have to do that, and that's very hard for people in the beginning to comprehend. Like, what, I got to give up like 20 grand a month to go, and but that's what we spend. I mean, we spend a lot of money a month putting back into the business, and so many expenses that go into it. It is not snap a pic, you're good. It is like, well, lingerie, you got to buy you got to keep it spicy. You got to keep all the things, going. And so we have a crap ton of expenses, a lot. And taxes.
Right.
Let's not forget the
Talk
taxes.
about the taxes. Those that may not know, yes, you may be making a lot of money on the OnlyFans, but okay, guess what? You still gotta get that ka-ching right back. How much in taxes are we talking about, just to have an idea?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this is my first year. So in 2022, I am terrified because I went from a bracket making, maybe 80, 90 grand a year to now I'm making, God, hundreds of thousands a month. I can't even imagine what my taxes could be, but I know it's 37% is what I hear. Now you can write stuff off. So, I'll definitely have someone to help me with that, but you're not walking away free. You're going to pay, 100, 200, $300,000 a year in taxes. Like, you just will. And it's hard. That's another reason I like Florida.
I want to know, and I know that I've already asked you, but I want to know, what is your point of view and how do you feel about prostitution becoming legalized? Because that was something that I was thinking about. Like, if for any X or Y reason, because this is still a sexual service, if for any X or Y reason, women had an opportunity of having like a license or whatever and being a legalized, I am a prostitute or a woman that provides certain sexual, services, whatever. And then on top of that, after you get your toto, what I'm saying, beat up and stretched out and all these things, now I gotta pay you taxes for that too. How do you feel about that?
I hate the tax thing. I think that's insane. I think taking 37% of anyone's income just because you make that is a problem. Like, the more money you make, the more they're gonna take. And unfortunately, it's like, but you work hard for that. Nobody just has that handed to them.
But they say that they give back to the community to fix the streets and, provide certain
Yeah.
services for the communities. So I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if your money's going, it's hard. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But I mean, I feel like, in terms of the prostitution thing, I never want to hear, I don't ever like the idea of the government telling a woman what they can do with their body, and that if they want to, models make money off their body by pictures, it's very, very similar.
Yeah.
And so that part sucks. And so to say legalize prostitution, well, it'd be wonderful if we could do that. But I do agree there has to be a safe way. We can't, because you get this trafficking that comes into play and stuff, and that stuff worries me.
Talk
And
about
so you don't want to make it easier for those type of people. But at the same time, I like the idea licensed or registered or, some kind of thing like that. I feel like if there's a way to do it where it definitely is safe and that kind of thing.
And you can track these women down. Because that's the most important part. For example, being able to do it on OnlyFans, it provides you a safe space for you to do it. Everybody knows you have to provide your ID. Like there's, we can track you down. But for the girls that are out here in these streets doing it, they're afraid to tell anyone. They're afraid to talk about it with their families, or they feel ashamed or whatever. They can get lost out here, and then nobody would ever even know. So definitely, I think that since we're still talking about sexual services, I think that would be great. Now, here's another thing that I'm thinking, because I'm always thinking as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur and all that good stuff, you're always trying to think of ways to make more money out of this. So you're making all this money out of OnlyFans right now. Do you see yourself maybe perhaps, growing into just the pornography industry and just like OnlyFans could be part of it, but how about just taking it a step further? Would you do it?
I don't think so, because that to me doesn't seem as... it's not really me. Like, I feel like what I like about OnlyFans is it's my business, it's my life, and it's really cool that you have
control.
You have that control, and so I like that, and I like the non-scripted. I like the natural, candid. That's definitely fun. I foresee for my future, definitely continuing in entertainment in general, like not just OnlyFans. I'll have that always, but I like, I want to educate. I want to talk to people. There's a lot of people reaching out to me about helping them, grow something from 0 to 6, just quickly like that, and giving my tips and help people. So that's something that I have great interest in. I love these open conversations like this. This is stuff that I think needs to be talked about. And that's why, I definitely want to have a part of that. And I feel like that's where my sweet spot's going to be.
I also was thinking, like, if you guys have been able to create such an amazing team between your husband and yourself, and you've been able to figure out, the niche into being able to grow this brand, would you be open to creating some type of business where you can help provide the same service and maybe commission off other girls that are working on OnlyFans?
Yeah, that's what OnlyFans does have, a referral program. It's not the greatest program, but it is kind of nice because you do earn a little bit of commission off them, not from the creator's earnings. You earn, OnlyFans gives you a portion of that, so it doesn't cost the creator anything. The issue, and it's kind of nice because that means my time to educate and help and train and mentor those people is worth it. Because certainly at this point, when you get to this level, you start charging for time, and that's really what it boils down to. But I think in general, I kind of want to do something off of that too. Like you said, I really want to do some kind of master series or training program that, I could sell to someone and like have them under my wing and do live, feeds and videos and one-on-ones and mentorship.
I think I want to be under your wing. Listen, I don't have an OnlyFans because I'm scared. I'm scared about endorsements, my future. In this industry of the entertainment industry, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to lie. I'm only but human. And I've thought about it. I've seen other girls do it. And I'm like, shit, I could do it. I got titties, ass, and the dodo too. Like, I could be sexy. I can try it. But then, there's this stigma when it comes to having an OnlyFans where a lot of brands will be like, no, you're not good for our brand because you have an OnlyFans and da-da-da-da. But maybe if you did it on the low, because I know that there's girls that use masks, wigs. Yeah. What have you seen on OnlyFans? Like, what type of fetishes or what type of, like, freaky stuff are people into in OnlyFans?
Yeah, there's a lot. That's what's cool about OnlyFans. You can make your business whatever you want to be. There's people that don't show their face, that just do feed, that you could do what you're comfortable with. I tell you, I would consider myself a fairly sheltered girl prior to this in this industry. And when I came on here and the things people were asking, I literally thought they were jokes, some of them. And that's not to be a disrespectful way, but they have to understand some of this stuff is so foreign to me that it was like, wow, like that's a sexual thing for people. But There's a lot. Like for one, I don't, we talked about one the other day on your show and about these people that are turned on by like sneezing and the
Uh-huh.
anticipation of a sneeze coming. That was so rare to me. And I actually like was researching the psychology of that shit like all night. I was like, wow, let me understand this.
But
It's a
break
real
it down.
thing.
The anticipation of sneezing is like what? To be like what?
Just they like to watch the sneeze build up. The build up's very important and the tissues are important.
Do
I
they like
asked
it
these.
with boogers too, like the snot and everything? Or no, that's another level. Like,
No, they do. They want. I ask these questions. I'm like, do you like want to see the sneeze? I mean, I don't know what. So, yeah, there's like all different levels of it, man. They're like very serious about it, and it's such good money because especially the fetish world, they know that, let's be real, they know their shit's a little weird. And it's hard for them probably to approach girls to ask these things, And so when they find someone that's willing to do it for them, they are loyal as hell. And I love it. I never want my people to make them feel like, I think we use the word weird or different like loosely, but I think even they know, like, yeah, this isn't the norm. Like,
right,
obviously, not a lot of people are running around, getting turned on by sneezes, but
right.
it's they're very loyal, because they build that connection with you. But
I love the fact that OnlyFans lets you be, sexually free. It allows women like yourself to become financially independent by finding a different source of income. I am like judgment free zone. I'm just a curious cat. I'm curious to know about all these things because I feel that like myself, there's a lot of people that are curious but don't have anyone to ask and maybe are afraid to ask. If you had any advice for any girl out there, and guys too, let's not think that OnlyFans is just for women. There are men
yeah.
out here making a lot of money out of OnlyFans as well. If you had any advice for some girl that may be shy or scared or doesn't know how to take her first step but really wants to get into OnlyFans, what advice would you give her?
I would say, start off with what you're comfortable with. You may know, okay, if I post a full frontal, I'm going to get more money, but don't do that because the last thing you want to do is start on this platform, make yourself feel like crap about yourself and have all these regrets, and then you won't be successful. It's okay if you start off and all you're comfortable showing is maybe your booty in a thong. Like, it is what it is. And I think if you maintain, kind of let yourself build to what you're comfortable with, that's important because this industry can really mess with your psyche, and it can build confidence or it can really tear you down.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important, to be okay with everything you do and make sure everything you do you are willing to accept that potentially could go public, because let's be real, people will leak your shit. Yeah. And that is a hard thing. You to this day, there's certain things I don't do on OnlyFans that people have asked me to do. I'm just not comfortable with it. I don't want to do it. And yeah, sometimes it's like, but I'll pay you $5,000. You're like, awesome, but I'm just not comfortable doing that, and I don't want that out in the public. So I think just being real with yourself about it, because it is definitely there's a psychological shift you're going to have when you start an OnlyFans into where you become very successful on OnlyFans.
Okay, so there you go. Those were the best tips right now. You heard it from her. She's making 360, almost $400,000 a month. So she knows her shit. Oh, not to mention the fact that also remember, right? Give those tips too. It's not just about the content that you post. You also have to give back into your business by getting a marketing team, right? You said, what else do you need to have?
You are going to be your own marketing team until you're willing to hire out and delegate stuff. But yeah, you have to be active on every social. You have to remember, people can get porn anywhere for free. Why are they going to pay for it from you? Because they want to see you. So you need to make sure you are building your brand, your personality, you. And that is more time than OnlyFans. Just building that exposure. And that's important, very important, or you won't grow.
Well, most definitely. If people want to follow you on your social media platforms or download and subscribe to your OnlyFans, where can they find you?
I always tell people just to go to thealleyray.com, and it's the link tree there. It has all my links to everywhere. But I'm on most platforms. I'm the Allie Ray, ALLIERAE.
You already know. I want to download. I don't even have it on my phone. I really don't. But I want to download an OnlyFans just so that I can support you, because I know that you're doing great things with this money for your family, for yourself, and you're an amazing woman. And I am inspired by your work ethic and the way that you're making things happen and inspiring other women as well. I love talking to you guys every Thursday. Allie Ray, thank you so much for joining us today. I have had So much fun talking to you. I've learned so much, and I'm really considering opening my OnlyFans. If I call you on the low, hey, listen, I need you to help me out. You already know. By
You
the
are
way,
Dr. Girl.
I want to know from exactly Amara fans, guys, would you like to see me with an OnlyFans? If I had an OnlyFans, would you guys subscribe? I just want to know because, like, if I get a lot of people saying yes, oh my God, I think I might do it. And also go check us out. All of our episodes are available if you go to YouTube and write Amara la Negra or exactly Amara so you can re-enjoy these episodes. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. You already know. I'll see you guys next Thursday on Exactly Amara.